r/pettyrevenge, SIL mocks me at birthday party. I expose her secrets to family. Happy birthday to someone who can't even keep a baby. Sarah's voice cuts through the party chatter like a knife, her wine glass raised in a mock toast. Here's to my sister-in-law, the woman who had one job and couldn't even. The room goes dead silent. 23 family members suddenly find their plates fascinating. My birthday cake sits untouched on the table, its cheerful pink frosting now feeling like a cruel joke. I can feel the heat rising in my cheeks as every eye in the room darts between Sarah and me, waiting to see if I'll crumble. Sarah. My husband Mark's voice is a warning, but it's too late. She's already launched into her performance. Oh come on, we're all thinking it. She laughs, that shrill sound she makes when she's had too much wine and thinks she's being clever. 3 months along and poof. Gone. Maybe her body knew something we didn't, right? She nudges Mark's cousin Jessica, who looks like she wants to disappear into the floor. The miscarriage happened 6 weeks ago. 6 weeks of barely being able to get out of bed, of Mark tiptoeing around me like I'm made of glass, of avoiding baby commercials and gender reveal posts on social media. 6 weeks of grief so heavy it feels like drowning. And now Sarah with her perfect pregnancy announcement last year, Sarah with her Instagram-worthy nursery, Sarah who's never failed at anything in her privileged little life, is using my pain as entertainment. I mean, maybe it's for the best, she continues, emboldened by the horrified silence. Some people just aren't cut out for motherhood. Natural selection and all that. That's when something inside me snaps. Not the messy, emotional breakdown she's fishing for. Something cold and calculated. Something that's been building for 3 years of her passive-aggressive comments, her little digs about my job, my appearance, my marriage. Something that's been fed by all the secrets I've been keeping for the sake of family harmony. I stand up slowly, my chair scraping against the hardwood floor. Every face turns toward me. Mark looks panicked, probably expecting tears or a dramatic exit. His mother clutches her purse tighter, an unconscious gesture that almost makes me smile, given what I know about why she's learned to do that. You know what, Sarah? My voice is steady, almost conversational. You're absolutely right about natural selection. She blinks, clearly not expecting this response. The wine glass wavers in her hand. It's fascinating how nature finds ways to weed out the unfit. I pick up my own untouched glass of sparkling cider, no alcohol for me since we've been trying, another small grief she's trampled on. Speaking of which, how's your relationship with those scratch-off tickets going? Still buying them at 3 different gas stations so Tom won't notice? The color drains from her face. Behind her, Tom's forehead creases in confusion. What's she talking about, honey? He asks. But I'm not done. 6 weeks of swallowed tears, 3 years of biting my tongue, a lifetime of people like Sarah thinking they can kick you when you're down because you're too polite to kick back. The cake sitting there with its happy 28th birthday Emma message and cheerful script feels like a witness to my transformation. I take a sip of my cider and smile. Oh, this is going to be such a memorable birthday after all. Sarah's wine glass is trembling now. She knows exactly what I know, and she knows I'm done protecting her. The real party is about to begin. The room holds its breath. I can practically hear hearts beating as everyone processes what I just said. Tom's confusion is morphing into something sharper, more alert. He knows his wife well enough to recognize the look of pure panic spreading across her face. Emma, what are you talking about? Sarah's voice has lost its mocking confidence. She's trying to laugh it off, but it comes out strangled. I don't know what kind of. $3,700. The number drops into the silence like a stone into still water. That's how much you've spent in the last 2 months alone. I know because I was behind you at Murphy's gas station when your card got declined. You had to put back $320's worth of tickets. Tom's face goes white. $3,700? Sarah, we talked about this. You said you stopped. She never stopped. I'm amazed at how calm I sound, like I'm discussing the weather instead of destroying someone's marriage at my own birthday party. She just got better at hiding it. Different locations, cash only. That's why she's been volunteering to run errands for everyone, isn't it, Sarah? So many opportunities to make quick stops. Mark grabs my arm, his fingers digging in. Emma, maybe we should. Should what? Spare her feelings? I turn to look at him, and whatever he sees in my face makes him let go. Like she spared mine? Sarah is backing toward the kitchen, wine sloshing out of her glass. You're crazy. You're having some kind of breakdown, Anne. The Mega Millions ticket. The words stop her retreat cold. The one you bought last Tuesday with the birthday money Tom's mom gave you for little Danny. $5 that was supposed to go toward his new shoes. Margaret, Tom's mother, makes a small sound of hurt. She's been saving every penny from her social security to spoil her grandson. Everyone knows money is tight since her husband died. You stole from Danny? Tom's voice is deadly quiet. It wasn't stealing. Sarah's composure finally cracks. It was just borrowing. I was going to replace it when I won. When you won. I shake my head. Just like you were going to replace what you took from Margaret's purse last Sunday during dinner. What was it, $40? Right out of her wallet while she was helping me with the dishes. The gasp that goes around the room is audible. Margaret's hand flies to her throat, and I watch the pieces click together in her mind. Tom looks like he might be sick. That's not, I never. Sarah whirls to face her mother-in-law. Margaret, you know I would never. You said you needed to use the bathroom. Margaret's voice is barely a whisper. You were gone for almost 10 minutes. I thought it was odd, but... She trails off, looking devastated. Mark is staring at me like he's never seen me before. How do you know all this? Because I pay attention. I meet his gaze steadily. Because I notice things. Like how Sarah always volunteers to help Margaret with her groceries, and somehow Margaret's always missing money afterward. Like how Sarah's been wearing new clothes while telling Tom they can't afford Danny's dental work. The birthday party has transformed into something else entirely. Aunt Helen is clutching Uncle Bob's arm. Jessica has her phone out like she's recording. Danny, Sarah, and Tom's 6-year-old, is playing with his toys in the corner, blissfully unaware that his mother's secret life is being dissected in real time. And Sarah? Sarah is looking at me with pure hatred, but underneath that, I see something else. Fear. Because she knows I'm not finished. Not even close. You want to know what else I've noticed? I set my glass down with deliberate care, the clink against the wooden table unnaturally loud in the suffocating silence. I've noticed how you've been making extra trips to see Margaret on her pension days. How thoughtful of you to check on her right after she cashes her checks. Margaret's face crumbles. The grocery money, she whispers. Last month I thought I was losing my mind. I could have sworn I had enough for the whole week, but you kept coming up short, I finished gently. So you started skipping meals, didn't you, Margaret? Because you thought it was your memory going. Tom makes it sound like he's been punched. Mom, you never said. I didn't want to worry anyone. Margaret's eyes are filling with tears. I thought maybe the dementia was starting, like with your father. I was so scared. The room explodes into chaos. 3 conversations start at once as family members piece together their own missing money stories. Aunt Helen mentions her missing 20 from last Christmas. Uncle Bob suddenly remembers his wallet being lighter after the 4th of July barbecue. The accusations fly like shrapnel, and Sarah's standing in the middle of it all, spinning in circles trying to deny everything at once. But Tom isn't joining the chorus. He's just staring at his wife with this awful, dawning recognition. The credit cards, he says quietly, and somehow his whisper cuts through all the shouting. The ones that kept getting maxed out. You said it was identity theft. Sarah's laugh is getting more hysterical. This is insane. She's making all of this up because she's jealous. Because I have what she can't. Don't. The word comes out like a whip crack. Don't you dare try to use my miscarriage as a shield for what you've done. Mark steps between us, his face flushed. Emma, this has gone far enough. Sarah's family. We don't air dirty laundry like this. Family. The word hits like a slap. Where was this loyalty when Sarah was eviscerating me in front of these same people? When she was making jokes about my failure as a woman? Family, I repeat slowly. Like how she's family to Margaret? The 82-year-old woman she's been stealing from? It's not stealing. Sarah screams, and now the tears are coming, black mascara streaming down her cheeks. It's borrowing. I always meant to pay it back. With what? Tom's voice is hollow. We're 3 months behind on the mortgage, Sarah. 3 months. And you've been gambling away my mother's grocery money. The number lands like a bomb. Mark's face goes sheet white. We helped them with a payment just last month. His parents loaned them money for Danny's school clothes. All while Sarah was feeding quarters into slot machines and scratching silver coating off lottery dreams. Jessica finally lowers her phone. Oh my God, Sarah. Danny's college fund. No, Tom breathes. Tell me you didn't touch Danny's college fund. The silence stretches like a rubber band about to snap. Sarah's mouth opens and closes, but no words come out. And that's answer enough. Tom sinks into a chair like his strings have been cut. How much? I can win it back, Sarah whispers. I just need one good. How much? All of it. The words are barely audible. But I have a system now, and I've been so close. The cake is still sitting there, untouched, its cheerful pink roses starting to wilt under the dining room lights. Happy 28th birthday, Emma. This isn't how I pictured spending it, but somehow, watching Sarah's perfect facade crumble feels better than any gift I could have received. Tom stands up slowly, his movements careful and deliberate. Get out. What? Sarah's voice cracks like thin ice. Tom, you don't mean. Get out of my house. His voice is eerily calm, but I can see his hands shaking. Take whatever you can carry. The rest we'll figure out later. You can't just throw me out. I'm your wife. Danny needs his mother. Sarah's reaching for him now, mascara-stained tears streaming down her face, but Tom steps back like she's radioactive. Danny needs a college fund. Danny needs his great-grandmother to eat dinner every night instead of splitting a can of soup because she thinks she's losing her mind. Tom's composure finally cracks. Danny needs parents who don't lie to him about why we can't afford his asthma inhaler while one of them is pissing away his future $20 at a time. Mark grabs my shoulder, spinning me around to face him. Are you happy now? You just destroyed a marriage. Broke up a family. At your own birthday party. The accusation in his voice stops me cold. Around us, the family is fragmenting in real time. Aunt Helen is crying into Uncle Bob's shoulder. Margaret looks like she's aged 10 years in 10 minutes. Little Danny has stopped playing with his toys and is staring at his parents with confused, frightened eyes. And suddenly, I feel sick. I start, but Jessica cuts me off. No, this is good, she says, her voice sharp with vindication. Someone needed to say it. We've all been dancing around Sarah's problems for years. Years? Mark turns to stare at his sister. You knew about this? We all knew something was wrong. The constant money emergencies, the mood swings, the lying about stupid stuff. Jessica gestures wildly. Remember when she lost her wedding ring? $10 says she pawned it. Sarah flinches like she's been hit, and I realize Jessica's probably right. That's enough. Margaret's voice, thin but firm, cuts through the chaos. She's standing now, one shaky hand gripping her walker. This is Emma's birthday, and we've turned it into a circus. The shame hits me like a physical blow. She's right. I've used my own birthday party as a weapon, and now everyone's bleeding, including people I never meant to hurt. Margaret, I'm sorry, I didn't mean for. You meant exactly this. Her watery blue eyes meet mine, and there's something unreadable there. Not anger, exactly, but not forgiveness either. You wanted her to hurt like you were hurting. Well, congratulations, dear. Mission accomplished. Tom is packing Sarah's purse, his movements jerky and mechanical. Keys. Phone. Wallet. You can stay at your sister's tonight. We'll talk tomorrow when I'm not. He trails off, looking at his son, who's still sitting frozen on the floor. When you're not what, Tom? Sarah's desperation is morphing into fury. When you're not listening to that bitter witch? She's jealous because her own husband doesn't even stand up for her. The words hit their target. Mark's face flushes red, and I feel him pulling away from me, literally and figuratively. Don't, I warned Sarah, but she's past caring now. Look around, Emma. Look what your petty revenge accomplished. You destroyed my family because I made a joke. You mocked my dead baby. The words come out flat and deadly quiet. In front of everyone. You called me a failure as a woman. It was just. It was cruel. Margaret's voice cuts through Sarah's protest. What she said to Emma was unnecessarily cruel. The room goes silent except for Danny's quiet sniffling. He's old enough to know something terrible is happening, even if he doesn't understand what. And suddenly, I realize I've won a battle I'm no longer sure I wanted to fight. The silence stretches until Danny's small voice breaks it. Mommy? Are we still having cake? His innocent question shatters something in the room. Sarah drops to her knees beside him, pulling him close with desperate hands. Of course, baby. Mommy just needs to. No. Tom's voice is steel. Danny, go pack some toys. You're coming to stay with Grandma Margaret tonight. I'm not letting you take my son. Sarah's desperation explodes into rage. She clutches Danny tighter, and he starts to cry. You can't just decide. I can and I will. Tom moves toward them, and for a moment I think he might physically remove Danny from Sarah's arms. You think I'm letting him watch this? Watch you fall apart. Mark steps forward. Tom, maybe we should all just calm down. Don't. Tom whirls on him, and I've never seen my brother-in-law this angry. Don't tell me to calm down. Your wife just blew up my entire life, and you want me to be reasonable? The accusation in Tom's voice makes Mark's jaw clench. Emma was defending herself. Maybe if you'd controlled your wife's mouth. If I'd controlled, Tom lets out a bitter laugh. Right, because I've had so much success controlling Sarah lately. Tell me, Mark, how's your control going? Because from where I'm standing, Emma just torched my marriage while you stood there and watched. Stop it. The words come out of me before I can stop them. Stop fighting. Danny's scared. And he is. The 7-year-old is pressed against Sarah's chest, tears streaming down his face as the adults around him fall apart. This isn't what I wanted. Watching a child caught in the crossfire of my revenge makes me feel like I'm going to be sick. You're right, Jessica says suddenly. This is about Emma defending herself. Sarah had this coming. Stay out of it, Jess, Mark warns, but she ignores him. No, I'm tired of tiptoeing around Sarah's feelings. We've all been enabling this for years. The constant drama, the money problems, the lies. What lies? Uncle Bob speaks up for the first time, his arm still around a crying Helen. Jessica laughs, but there's no humor in it. Pick one. The car trouble that's cost us $3,000 in emergency loans? The medical bills that Tom somehow never knows about? Jessica, stop. Margaret's voice cracks like a whip. That's enough from everyone. But Jessica's on a roll now, months or maybe years of frustration pouring out. No, it's not enough. We've all been walking on eggshells, pretending everything's fine while Sarah manipulates and lies and steals. I never stole from you. Sarah screams, startling Danny into fresh sobs. Only because I don't leave my purse lying around, Jessica shoots back. But Mom's told me about things going missing when you visit. She just never wanted to say anything. Margaret closes her eyes like she's in pain. Helen, please don't. But Aunt Helen is nodding through her tears. The grocery money from my counter. Last month. I thought I'd miscounted. The dominoes are falling faster now. Uncle Bob's face hardens. The 20 from my wallet during the barbecue. You said you were getting something from the car. I borrowed it. Sarah's voice is getting higher, more desperate. I always meant to pay everything back. With what money? Tom's question hangs in the air like smoke. Sarah, we don't have money. We haven't had money in 2 years. Mark's phone buzzes, and he glances at it automatically. His face goes white. Emma, we need to go. What? Why? Your mom's calling. And your dad. And. He scrolls through the notifications, his expression getting grimmer. Jessica, did you post something? Jessica's defiant expression falters slightly. I might have updated my status. You live-streamed part of this, didn't you? Mark's voice is deadly quiet. The color drains from Jessica's face. Just a little. I didn't think. You put this on social media? Tom turns on Jessica with fury I didn't know he possessed. My son, my family falling apart, and you put it on Facebook? It was Instagram, Jessica whispers, like that makes it better. Mark is already pulling me toward the door. We're leaving. Now. But I can't move. I'm watching Danny cling to Sarah while Tom tries to gently extract him, watching Margaret sink into her chair like the weight of everything is crushing her, watching the family that was supposed to be mine fracture along lines I helped draw. Emma. Mark's voice is sharp now. Move. The last thing I see as he drags me toward the door is a birthday cake, still sitting untouched on the table, its pink roses wilting under the harsh dining room lights. The ride home is suffocating silence broken only by Mark's phone buzzing incessantly. Every notification makes him grip the steering wheel tighter until his knuckles are white against the black leather. Turn it off, I finally say when we're stopped at a red light. I can't. His voice is hollow. Your parents are calling. My boss texted, apparently someone tagged the company page. Emma, do you understand what just happened back there? I don't answer because I'm not sure I do. The adrenaline is wearing off, leaving behind something cold and nauseating. In my head, I replay Danny's terrified face, the way he clung to Sarah even as his whole world imploded around him. Jessica live-streamed it, Mark continues, his voice getting sharper. Parts of it are already on TikTok. Someone screen recorded before she could delete it. He shows me his phone at the next red light. The view count is climbing, 15K, 16K, 17K. My stomach drops. What parts? Your speech. Sarah screaming. Tom saying the marriage is over. Mark's jaw clenches. Danny crying. A 7-year-old having a breakdown is going viral, Emma. The nausea hits me full force. Pull over. We're almost. Pull over now. He swerves into a gas station parking lot just in time for me to throw open the door and vomit onto the asphalt. Mark doesn't move to help me, doesn't rub my back like he usually would when I'm sick. He just sits there, engine running, while I empty my stomach of birthday cake I never actually ate. When I finally sit back up, wiping my mouth with a tissue from the glove compartment, his phone is ringing again. My mother's contact photo fills the screen. Answer it, I say quietly. Mark hesitates, then swipes to accept. Hi, Janet. I can hear my mother's voice through the speaker, high and frantic, though I can't make out the words. Mark's responses are short, yes. I know. She's right here. No, we're not at the house. Finally, he ends the call and turns to me. Your parents saw the video. They want us to come over. What did you tell them? That I'd call back. Mark runs his hands through his hair. Emma, this is bad. Really bad. My sister violated a child's privacy, and you. He trails off. And I what? Say it. You destroyed a family tonight. The words hit like a slap. Tom and Sarah might get divorced. Danny's traumatized. Margaret looked like she was going to have a heart attack. And now it's entertainment for strangers on the internet. She started it. The words sound pathetic even to me, like something a child would say. Mark turns to face me fully, and I see something in his eyes I've never seen before, disappointment. Not anger, not frustration, disappointment. It's worse than if he'd screamed at me. You finished it, though. You had information that could destroy her, and you used it. In front of her child. She mocked our baby. The words tear out of my throat. She called me a failure, Mark. Where were you? Where was my husband when she was humiliating me? I was trying to. You were doing nothing. Like always. Years of resentment pour out. You never stand up for me with your family. Ever. I'm always the outsider, always walking on eggshells, and the one time I defend myself, you act like I'm the villain. Mark's phone buzzes again. This time it's Tom calling. We stare at each other in the harsh fluorescent glow of the gas station lights, the phone ringing between us like a countdown timer. Neither of us moves to answer it. The phone stops ringing, then immediately starts again. Tom's name flashes on the screen like an accusation. Answer it, I whisper. Mark's hand hovers over the phone, then he declines the call. I can't. Not yet. But Tom doesn't give up. A text comes through, then another. Mark glances at them and his face goes ashen. What does it say? He hands me the phone with shaking hands. The messages make my blood run cold. Asterisk Sarah locked herself in the bathroom. Won't come out. Danny keeps asking what's wrong with mommy. Asterisk. Asterisk Emma needs to fix this. Now. Asterisk. Asterisk the video has 50k views. Local news wants comment. What the hell do I tell them? Asterisk. My hands are trembling as I scroll through Mark's notifications. The family group chat is exploding. Uncle Bob demanding explanations. Aunt Helen asking someone to explain what gambling addiction means. Cousins I barely know sharing the video with crying laughing emojis, treating my personal hell like it's reality TV. We have to go back, I say, but even as the words leave my mouth, I know it's impossible. How do you walk back into a room where you burned everything to the ground? Mark starts the car without a word. I think we're going home, but he turns toward his parents' neighborhood instead. Mark, no. I can't face them again. You think you have a choice? His voice is flat, emotionless. Tom's right. You started this avalanche, and now you need to help dig everyone out. My phone starts ringing. Mom again. This time I answer. Emma Catherine Morrison, what in God's name? Mom, please. I just watched my daughter destroy a family on the internet. Do you know I had 3 neighbors call me? Mrs. Peterson from church saw it on Facebook. She recognized you from the Christmas photos. The humiliation burns through me. Our small town loves gossip, and I've just handed them the story of the year. Mom, I'm sorry, but you don't understand what Sarah. I understand perfectly. That girl said horrible things, and you decided to ruin her life in response. 2 wrongs don't make a right, Emma. I raised you better than this. She hangs up before I can respond. The rejection stings worse than anything Sarah said at the party. My own mother, disgusted with me. When we pull into the driveway, I see Tom's car is still there, but now there's another vehicle I don't recognize, a silver sedan with official-looking plates. Who is that? I ask, but Mark's already getting out of the car. Through the front window, I can see uniformed figures in the living room. My heart stops. Mark, are those police? His voice is grim. Someone probably called about the social media thing. Or maybe. He doesn't finish the thought, but I know what he's thinking. Sarah, locked in that bathroom. The way she looked when everything fell apart. We walk to the front door like we're approaching our own execution. Margaret opens it before we can knock. Her eyes are red-rimmed and furious. The officer wants to speak with you, she says to me without preamble. About the video. Inside, a young female officer sits across from Tom, who looks like he's aged 10 years in the past hour. Danny is nowhere to be seen, and the bathroom door at the end of the hall is still closed. Mrs. Morrison? The officer stands as we enter. I'm Officer Martinez. We need to discuss the incident that was broadcast online tonight. Incident? I manage. The video shows what appears to be harassment, public humiliation, and disclosure of private information without consent. Several viewers reported it as cyberbullying. The irony would be laughable if it weren't so terrifying. I'm the one being investigated for bullying. There's also the matter of a minor who was filmed without permission during what appears to be a traumatic event, Officer Martinez continues. That raises additional concerns. Tom looks up at me with hollow eyes. She still won't come out. The officer's words blur together as the reality of my situation crystallizes. Criminal charges. A viral video. A family destroyed. And somewhere behind that bathroom door, Sarah hasn't made a sound in over an hour. I need to understand what happened here tonight, Officer Martinez says, pulling out a small notepad. Multiple people have contacted us about concerning content online. Before I can answer, Margaret speaks up from the corner where she's been silently crying. That woman, she points at me with a shaking finger. She stole money from my purse and blamed my daughter-in-law. My mouth drops open. What? No, I said Sarah was taking. Sarah never took anything from me, Margaret continues, her voice gaining strength. I gave her that money for Danny's therapy sessions after the divorce papers were filed last month. Tom didn't want it getting back to his lawyer about the boy needing help. The room goes silent except for the ticking of the grandfather clock. Tom's head snaps up, his face a mask of confusion and betrayal. What divorce papers? Mark asks slowly. Tom stands up unsteadily. Sarah filed a month ago. We'd been trying to work things out, going to counseling, but she was scared about the gambling thing getting out during proceedings. Mom was helping us pay for family therapy off the books. The pieces rearranged themselves in my head, forming a completely different picture. The money Sarah was taking from Margaret's purse, it was help for their struggling marriage, not theft. The secretive phone calls I'd overheard weren't with bookies, but with therapists and lawyers. The gambling is real, I say weakly, but Tom shakes his head. She goes to bingo at the church on Wednesdays with your mom, he says to Margaret. $20 a week. That's it. Officer Martinez looks between us. Mrs. Morrison, did you verify these allegations before making them public? My silence is answer enough. There's more, Tom continues, and his voice breaks. Sarah, she had a miscarriage too. 3 months ago. We didn't tell anyone because we just started trying again after Danny, and she couldn't handle people knowing. She's been seeing someone, trying to process the grief. The words hit me like a freight train. Sarah had lost a baby too. While I was consumed with my own pain, she was drowning in hers. Her reaction to my loss wasn't cruelty, it was her own trauma bleeding through. She was drunk tonight, Tom adds. First time she's had more than a glass of wine since we lost the baby. She doesn't handle alcohol well anymore. The thing she said to you. He looks at me with something that might be pity. She's been punishing herself for months, thinking she caused it somehow. When she heard about your loss, it brought everything back. Mark sinks into a chair beside me. Jesus, Emma. What have we done? A soft knock comes from the bathroom door, and we all freeze. Danny's small voice carries down the hallway, Mommy? People are worried about you. Can you please come out? Officer Martinez closes her notepad. I'm going to need statements from everyone involved, but first, we need to make sure Mrs. Sarah Morrison is safe. How long has she been in there? Tom checks his watch. Almost 2 hours now. Has she responded to anyone? She told Danny she needed space, but that was 40 minutes ago. The officer walks toward the bathroom, and we follow at a distance. She knocks gently. Mrs. Morrison? This is Officer Martinez. Can you please answer so we know you're okay? Silence. Danny tugs on Tom's shirt. Daddy, I heard her crying, but then it got really quiet. Officer Martinez's expression shifts, becoming more urgent. Sir, do you have a key for this door? Tom fumbles through a drawer in the hallway table, his hands shaking. As he searches, I catch a glimpse of myself in the hallway mirror and barely recognize the person staring back. This isn't who I thought I was becoming tonight. This isn't revenge anymore. This is a nightmare. Tom finally finds the key, but his hands are shaking so badly that Officer Martinez has to take it from him. The metallic click of the lock seems to echo through the entire house. Sarah, the officer calls softly as she pushes the door open. We're coming in to check on you. The bathroom is empty. What the hell? Tom pushes past the officer, looking behind the shower curtain, as if Sarah might be hiding in the bathtub like a child playing hide-and-seek. Officer Martinez examines the small window above the toilet. It's open, cold October air streaming in. This leads to your backyard? Yes, but it's a 6-foot drop, and Sarah's terrified of heights. She won't even climb a stepladder to change light bulbs. Tom's voice cracks with panic. Margaret appears in the doorway, Danny clutching her hand. Her car's gone, she announces. I just looked out the front window. Her keys aren't on the hook by the door either. She climbed out the bathroom window to avoid walking past us, I realize aloud. The depth of Sarah's desperation to escape hits me like a slap. She was so humiliated, so cornered, that she literally crawled out a window rather than face us again. Officer Martinez is already on her radio, calling in Sarah's license plate number. We need to locate this vehicle. Driver may be in emotional distress. Tom sinks against the bathroom doorframe. She doesn't have anywhere to go. Her parents moved to Arizona last year, and her sister lives in Seattle. She's probably just driving around, but Sarah, when she's upset, she doesn't make good decisions. What kind of decisions? Officer Martinez asks sharply. She gets lost in her own head. Last month during one of our bad fights, she drove for 6 hours straight and ended up 2 towns over, sitting in a parking lot, not even remembering how she got there. My phone buzzes with a notification. Another comment on the video, which apparently is still circulating. Update, woman in video has fled the scene. Police involved now. This is better than Netflix. The video has been shared 47 times in the last hour. 47 times my destruction of Sarah is being passed around like entertainment. I scroll through the comments and feel sick. Anyone know who these people are? I want the full story. The blonde woman looks familiar. Doesn't she work at Riverside Elementary? Plot twist, the crazy one escaped out a window. Face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy. Wait. Riverside Elementary. That's where Sarah works. Worked, maybe, after tonight. Tom, I say quietly, Sarah's a teacher, right? At Riverside Elementary? He nods absently, still staring at the open window. People in the comments are figuring out who she is. They're identifying her workplace. Tom's face goes white. She's up for tenure review next month. The school board has a strict social media policy about anything that could reflect poorly on the district. Officer Martinez looks up from her radio. We've located her vehicle. She's at Riverside Park, just sitting in the parking lot. Units are heading there now, but given her emotional state, it might be better if a family member came along. I'll go, Tom says immediately. I should come too, I hear myself saying, though the words feel foreign in my mouth. This is my fault. Like hell you're coming, Tom snaps. You've done enough damage for one night. Margaret steps forward. Tom, she's right. Sarah needs to see that Emma understands what she's done. Otherwise, this doesn't end. Mark grabs my arm. Emma, no. You're not thinking clearly. Let Tom handle this. But Officer Martinez is watching me carefully. Mrs. Morrison, what exactly are your intentions here? I look around at the faces surrounding me, Tom's anger, Margaret's disappointment, Danny's confusion, Mark's desperation. Through the open bathroom window, cold air keeps streaming in, carrying the smell of autumn leaves and the sound of distant sirens. I need to fix this, I whisper. The drive to Riverside Park feels endless, even though it's only 10 minutes away. I sit in the back of Officer Martinez's patrol car while Tom rides in front, staring out the window with his jaw clenched. The silence between us is suffocating. My phone keeps buzzing with notifications. The video has reached over 200 shares now, and someone has created a Facebook group called Birthday Party Drama Watch with nearly 300 members. People are posting screenshots, trying to identify everyone in the background, dissecting every word Sarah and I exchanged. Tom, I say quietly, I know you hate me right now, but I need you to know that I didn't realize about her job when I... Stop talking. His voice is flat, emotionless. Just stop. Officer Martinez glances at me in the rearview mirror. Mrs. Morrison, I need you to understand that when we approach Mrs. Sarah Morrison, you let me and her husband take the lead. She's in a fragile state. I understand. Do you? Because from what I witnessed tonight, your understanding of situations hasn't been particularly accurate. The words sting because they're true. As we pull into the park's entrance, I can see Sarah's silver Honda Civic parked under a streetlight near the playground. She's sitting in the driver's seat, completely still. There's something else, Tom says as Officer Martinez parks nearby. Sarah's been having panic attacks since the miscarriage. Bad ones. She had one at school last month and had to be taken to the nurse's office. If she sees police approaching. Why didn't you mention this earlier? Officer Martinez asks. Because I was in shock. My whole world just got turned upside down in the span of an hour. 2 other patrol cars are already here, parked at a distance. Officer Martinez speaks into a radio, subject is still in vehicle. Approaching with family members. As we get out, I can see Sarah more clearly through her windshield. Her head is resting against the steering wheel, and her shoulders are shaking. Even from here, I can tell she's crying. Sarah? Tom calls out gently as we approach. Baby, it's me. Can you roll down the window? She looks up, and I see her face clearly for the first time since everything exploded. Her makeup is completely ruined, her eyes are red and swollen, and there's a small cut on her cheek, probably from climbing out the bathroom window. When she sees me behind Tom, her expression shifts from relief to panic. Get her away from me, Sarah's voice is muffled through the glass, but we can hear her clearly. Please, Tom, don't let her, I can't handle any more tonight. Emma just wants to apologize, Tom says, though his tone suggests he doesn't believe she deserves the chance. Sarah shakes her head violently. She destroyed everything. Do you know what they're saying online? Someone already sent the video to my principal. Mrs. Chen texted me 20 minutes ago asking if I needed to discuss my personal situation before Monday. My stomach drops. It's Friday night. Sarah has to face her colleagues, her students' parents, her boss, all while this video is making its rounds on social media. The comments, Sarah continues, her voice getting higher, more frantic, they're calling me a thief and a degenerate gambler. Someone posted my full name and the school's address. They're talking about calling child services on me because of Danny. Officer Martinez steps forward. Ma'am, I need you to exit the vehicle so we can talk properly. I can't go home, Sarah whispers. I can't face anyone. My marriage is falling apart, I might lose my job, and now the whole internet thinks I'm some kind of criminal. She finally looks directly at me through the windshield. Are you happy now, Emma? Was this what you wanted? The question hangs in the air between us like a blade. Was this what you wanted? I stare at Sarah through the windshield, her tear-streaked face illuminated by the harsh streetlight, and realize I don't know how to answer. Because the honest truth is complicated and ugly, part of me had wanted her to hurt the way she hurt me. But I never wanted this. Sarah, please get out of the car so we can talk, Officer Martinez says again, her voice gentle but firm. Sarah's hands are gripping the steering wheel so tightly her knuckles are white. I need to know something first, she says, looking past Tom and the officer directly at me. The gambling thing, the money from Margaret's purse, how long have you known? The question catches me off guard. What do you mean? How long have you been sitting on that information, waiting for the perfect moment to destroy me with it? Tom turns to stare at me, and I can see a new kind of suspicion forming in his eyes. Emma? It wasn't like that, I stammer. Mark told me about the gambling a few months ago, and I saw you taking money from Margaret's purse at Easter, but I wasn't. Months? Tom's voice cracks. You've known about my wife's problems for months and said nothing? You were dealing with your own stuff, and I thought maybe she was getting help. She's been spiraling for half a year. Tom explodes. She could have gotten help. I could have gotten her help. But instead, you kept it as ammunition. Sarah finally opens her car door and steps out, but she looks unsteady on her feet. Officer Martinez immediately moves closer, ready to catch her if she falls. That's not, I start to protest, but Sarah cuts me off. My principal didn't just text about the video, she says, her voice hollow. The school board president called. They're convening an emergency meeting Monday morning to discuss my employment. Apparently, someone already called the superintendent's office claiming I'm mentally unstable and around children all day. My phone buzzes again, and this time when I look at it, my blood runs cold. Someone has posted Sarah's school photo from the district website alongside a screenshot from the video. The caption reads, "This woman teaches your children." Is this who you want influencing young minds? Sarah, I whisper, showing her the screen. I'm so sorry. I didn't know it would. She glances at the post and lets out a sound that's half laugh, half sob. Didn't know what? Bad actions have consequences? That destroying someone's reputation in public might affect their livelihood? The video has over 500 shares now, Tom says, checking his own phone. His face is pale. Someone created a TikTok account called Birthday Drama Updates and they're posting follow-up content. They're treating this like a reality show. Officer Martinez looks grim. This is becoming a cyberbullying situation. Mrs. Sarah Morrison, you may want to consider contacting a lawyer. With what money? Sarah laughs bitterly. I've gambled away our savings, remember? Emma made sure everyone knows that. A car pulls into the parking lot, and my heart sinks when I recognize it. It's Margaret's sedan, with Margaret herself in the driver's seat and Danny visible in the passenger seat. Did you bring your son here? Officer Martinez asks sharply. Tom runs toward the car. Mom, what are you doing? I told you to stay home with Danny. Margaret gets out, Danny right behind her. He was having a panic attack, she calls back. He kept saying his mother was in trouble and begging to come find her. I couldn't calm him down. Danny breaks away from Margaret and runs towards Sarah, who immediately drops to her knees to catch him. Mommy, are you okay? Grandma said the police needed to talk to you. I'm fine, baby, Sarah whispers, but I can see her hands shaking as she holds him. Why is everyone so upset? Why did Aunt Emma say those things about you? Sarah looks up at me over Danny's head, and in her eyes, I see something that makes my stomach clench with guilt. It's not just anger anymore, it's genuine fear. Because, Sarah says quietly, sometimes people do things that hurt everyone around them, including people they never meant to hurt. And I realize she's not just talking about what I did tonight. She's talking about all of it. Danny's innocent question hangs in the air, and I watch Sarah struggle to find an age-appropriate answer for why his world is falling apart. Margaret approaches slowly, her cane tapping against the asphalt. Danny, sweetheart, why don't you come help Grandma Margaret sit down on that bench, she says gently. But Danny doesn't move from Sarah's arms. I heard Dad yelling on the phone, he says, his voice small. He said Mommy might have to go away. Are you going to jail? No, baby, no, Sarah says quickly, but Officer Martinez clears her throat. Actually, Mrs. Morrison, we do need to discuss the theft allegations. Taking money without permission, even from family, could constitute. Not in front of my son, Sarah says sharply, standing up with Danny still clinging to her. Please. Tom's phone rings, and when he answers, I can hear shouting from the other end even though he immediately walks away from us. Margaret watches him with growing alarm. Who's calling at this hour, she asks. Probably more family members who've seen the video, I mutter, then immediately wish I hadn't spoken. Margaret turns to me with a look of disappointment that cuts deeper than any of Sarah's anger. Emma, dear, what have you done? Before I can answer, Tom comes back, his face ashen. That was my boss, he says to Sarah. Apparently someone found my LinkedIn profile and sent the video to my entire company's HR department. They want to meet with me Monday morning too. Sarah stares at him in horror. But you didn't do anything wrong. Doesn't matter. The company has a moral character clause in employment contracts. Having a gambling spouse who steals from elderly relatives doesn't exactly project the right image for a financial advisor. Danny starts crying. Not the angry tantrum cry of a 5-year-old, but the scared, confused cry of a child who knows something terrible is happening but doesn't understand what. Stop it. I finally explode. All of you, just stop. You're scaring him. Everyone turns to stare at me, and I realize my outburst just made everything worse. Don't you dare, Sarah says, her voice dangerously quiet. Don't you dare act like you care about protecting my son when you're the reason he's traumatized right now. Officer Martinez steps between us. Everyone needs to calm down. Mrs. Morrison, I still need to speak with you about the theft allegations, but we can do it away from the child. What theft allegations? Margaret asks sharply. Someone explain to me exactly what's happening. Tom looks at me, then at Sarah, then back at me. Mom, there's some question about money missing from your purse. Missing from my... Margaret's face goes through several expressions before landing on understanding. Oh, Sarah, honey. The way Margaret says it, with such gentle sadness instead of anger, somehow makes everything worse. Sarah's composure finally cracks completely. I was going to pay it back, she whispers. I always pay it back. I just needed to cover the grocery money until Tom's next paycheck because I'd had a bad week at the casino, and I thought maybe if I could win just enough to. Sarah, Tom interrupts, his voice breaking. How much? Total. How much have you taken from my mother? Margaret raises her hand. I don't want to know. What I want to know is whether we can handle this as a family instead of involving. Ma'am, Officer Martinez interjects, if you're willing to not press charges, that's your choice. But given the public nature of the accusations now, the district attorney might decide to pursue this regardless. My phone buzzes again. Another notification. The Birthday Drama Updates account has posted a new video with the caption, breaking, police call to scene. Family in crisis. Someone followed us here. Someone is recording us right now. I spin around frantically, scanning the parking lot for whoever's filming us. Where are they? Who's recording? Officer Martinez immediately becomes alert, her hand moving to her radio. Everyone stay calm. Mrs. Morrison, take your son and stand behind the police vehicle. There. Tom points toward a dark SUV parked across the street. I can see the faint glow of a phone screen pressed against the passenger window. Someone's in that car. I'll handle it, Officer Martinez says, but before she can move, another car pulls into the lot. Then another. My heart drops as I realize what's happening. They're gathering, Margaret whispers, her voice trembling. People are actually coming here to watch us like we're some kind of entertainment. Danny presses his face against Sarah's shoulder. Mommy, why are those people taking pictures of us? A woman gets out of one of the newly arrived cars, holding her phone up openly as she films. She's maybe in her 40s, wearing pajama pants and a hoodie like she literally rolled out of bed to come gawk at our family crisis. Are you Sarah Morrison? She calls out. The teacher from the viral video? Officer Martinez immediately steps forward. Ma'am, you need to return to your vehicle. This is a police matter. I'm on public property, the woman responds. I have every right to film. My tax dollars pay for that teacher's salary, and I want to know if she's really stealing from old people. I have children at Riverside Elementary, another woman says, getting out of the second car. I deserve to know if their teacher is a criminal. Sarah makes a choking sound, and I watch her grip on Danny tighten protectively. This is insane, Tom mutters, pulling out his phone. I'm calling my brother. Maybe he can. He stops mid-sentence, staring at his screen. Oh God. Mark's posted something. My blood freezes. What did he say? Tom's face goes white as he reads. He's defending you. He posted a long statement about how Sarah has been volatile and unstable since the miscarriage, and how you were just defending yourself against ongoing harassment. He what? Sarah's voice is barely a whisper. There's more, Tom continues, his voice hollow. He says I've been enabling Sarah's destructive behavior and that our whole family has been walking on eggshells around her mental health issues. Margaret gasps. Mark wouldn't say those things. He tagged the local news station, Tom continues reading. And he's claiming that Sarah's gambling addiction has been putting children at risk because she's been erratic and desperate in the classroom. Sarah sways on her feet, and Officer Martinez reaches out to steady her. That's not true, Sarah breathes. My problems have never affected my teaching. Never. My phone starts ringing. It's Mark. Answer it, Tom demands. Tell him to take that post down right now. With shaking hands, I accept the call and put it on speaker. Mark, what are you? Emma, where are you? I've been worried sick since you left. I posted that to try to help, to show people that you're not the bad guy here. Help? Sarah's voice rises to near hysteria. You just destroyed what was left of my reputation. You made it sound like I'm mentally ill and dangerous to children. Sarah? Why are you there? Emma, you were supposed to come home, not. Your wife is currently being questioned by police about theft allegations that she made public at a birthday party, Officer Martinez interrupts. And your post may have just made this situation much worse for everyone involved. The silence on Mark's end stretches so long I think the call dropped. Finally, his voice comes through, small and confused. Emma, what have we done? Mark's question hangs in the air like a death sentence. What have we done? The answer feels too big, too devastating to put into words. Mark, I whisper into the phone, you need to delete that post. Right now. I can't, he says, and I can hear the panic creeping into his voice. Emma, it's been shared hundreds of times already. The news station replied, they want to interview me in an hour. Sarah lets out a sound that's somewhere between a laugh and a sob. An interview. Perfect. Make sure you tell them all about how I'm supposedly putting children in danger. Really drive that nail into my career's coffin. More cars are arriving. I count 6 now, maybe 7. People are getting out with phones, some even have actual cameras. A few are keeping their distance, but others are getting bolder, walking closer to our little circle of devastation. This is like a feeding frenzy, Margaret says quietly, pulling her sweater tighter around herself. How did we get here? Officer Martinez speaks into her radio, requesting backup. We've got a growing crowd situation. Possible social media incident that's escalating. Ma'am, one of the filming strangers calls out. Which one of you is the sister-in-law from the video? I feel every eye turn to me, and the weight of their stares makes my chest tight. Someone in the crowd gasps and points. That's her. The one in the black dress from the party. Emma Morrison. How do you feel about ruining a teacher's career? Is it true your sister-in-law has mental health problems? The questions come rapid fire from different directions, and I realize these people aren't just random gawkers anymore. Some of them know details they shouldn't know, which means they've been following this story closely, maybe even digging into our lives. I need to get Danny out of here, Sarah says desperately, looking around at the growing crowd. Please, he's just a little boy. The backup unit is 2 minutes out, Officer Martinez assures her, but Danny is already crying harder as more people approach with their phones raised. Mommy, why are they taking pictures? I don't want them to take pictures. My phone buzzes with a text from an unknown number, *, we know where you work too. Hope you're ready for the consequences, *. Then another, *, your husband is giving interviews now? Family loyalty much, *. And another, *, that poor kid is gonna see all this when he grows up. You destroyed his whole family, *. They're texting me, I say, my voice shaking. Strangers are texting me threats. Tom's phone starts ringing. It's the school district, he tells Sarah. They're calling on a Sunday night. Sarah's face goes completely white. Don't answer it. Please, Tom, don't answer it. But he's already swiping to accept. The conversation is brief and one-sided from our end, just Tom saying yes and I understand and she's not available right now. When he hangs up, the silence stretches until Danny sniffling is the only sound. They've placed you on administrative leave, Tom finally says. Effective immediately. They say it's temporary, just until the situation resolves itself. Sarah's legs give out. She doesn't fall completely because she's still holding Danny, but she sags against the police car like all the fight has gone out of her. 22 years, she whispers. I've been teaching for 22 years. Officer Martinez's radio crackles with an update, Unit 47, be advised that Channel 9 News is en route to your location. ETA 10 minutes. The crowd seems to sense something big is coming. More phones come out, more people press closer. And through it all, Mark's voice is still coming through my phone, Emma? Emma, are you there? The reporters are at our house now. I look at my phone, at the crowd of strangers treating my family's destruction like entertainment, at Sarah clutching Danny while her 22-year career crumbles, and something inside me snaps. Mark, I say into the phone, my voice steadier than I've felt in months. Tell the reporters exactly this, I was wrong. I was grieving and angry and I said things I shouldn't have said. Sarah Morrison is one of the best teachers in this district, and I will not let my pain destroy her life. Emma, what are you? I hang up and turn to the crowd. My hands are shaking, but my voice carries across the parking lot. Excuse me. I call out. You want a statement? Here's your statement. The filming phones turn toward me like flowers following the sun. Officer Martinez steps closer, ready to intervene, but I shake my head at her. My name is Emma Morrison, and I'm the woman from that viral video. What you saw was me having the worst moment of my life in public. I had just lost a baby, and I was drowning in grief, and I took it out on someone who didn't deserve it. The crowd quiets, sensing they're about to get something better than chaos. Sarah Morrison is not a criminal. She's not stealing from anyone. She made some mistakes with gambling, yes, but she's getting help for that. What she is an incredible teacher who has spent over 2 decades shaping young minds. She's the person who stays late to help struggling students, who spends her own money on classroom supplies, who remembers every single child's name even after they graduate. Danny has stopped crying and is looking up at me with wide eyes. I said cruel things because I was hurting. But hurt doesn't justify cruelty. And watching strangers tear apart a good person's life for entertainment, that's not who I want to be. I turn to Sarah. I'm sorry. I'm so incredibly sorry. Not just for tonight, but for all of it. You deserved better from me, especially when we were both trying to heal from losing that baby. Sarah's eyes fill with tears, but for the first time today, they don't look like tears of despair. The real story here, I continue, addressing the crowd again, isn't about scandal or drama. It's about how grief can make us hurt the people we love, and how social media can turn our worst moments into everyone else's entertainment. This is a real family with real pain, not content for your feeds. I pull out my phone and start recording myself. I'm posting this everywhere. Sarah Morrison is a good teacher and a good person who got caught in my emotional crossfire. Anyone who wants to keep attacking her is really just attacking someone who's already been through enough. Officer Martinez nods approvingly as backup arrives and starts dispersing the crowd. The woman who first approached us actually looks ashamed and puts her phone away. Tom reaches for Sarah's hand. The district will have to reinstate you when they see Emma's statement and realize the accusations were made in grief, not fact. Margaret steps forward and does something that surprises everyone. She hugs me. That was brave, dear. That was the right thing to do. As the crowd disperses and the phones stop recording, I feel something I haven't felt in months, peace. Not the peace of revenge or vindication, but the peace of doing what's right even when it costs you something. Come on, Sarah says quietly, shifting Danny to her hip. Let's go home. All of us. We have a lot to figure out, but maybe we can figure it out together. For the first time in a long time, that sounds like exactly what I want.